What kind, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Mikhail Naidu, reporting live from Johannesburg, South Africa. A little bit about me: I love sneakers, streetwear, suits, anything to do with clothing and fashion. I'm also a huge fan of Formula One, boxing, and football. I fortunately slash unfortunately support Manchester United, so if you know, you know. Today we have something special on the channel. We will be doing a review on a famous pair of TNs called the Hyperblue. So let's not waste any time. Let's have a look at it. Before I do that, the product label does say black chamois sky blue. So just want to show you that if you can actually see. And yeah, let's actually have a look at it. So today we are going to be judging the shoe based on a few different things such as aesthetics, materials, sizing and comfort, as well as pricing. So let's have a look at it. So this is a shoe that really did divide the sneaker community when it did come out in 2025, because there are parts of the community that feel that the gradient and color is true and correct to the OG. And you also get other people from the sneaker community who feel that the shoe does lean on the whiter slash bright side. So, in my opinion, I wasn't able to get the 2018 or the early 2000s pair. So I am still super happy that I managed to pick these pair or this pair up under retail. So I'm super happy about that. Now, a great thing about the shoe, it is very subtle in its color. Even though it is a blue, why I say it's subtle and why I think it's awesome is there's a large part of the sneaker community that strictly stay to all white or all black sneakers. If you are one of those people in the community and you are looking for something a bit different, something with a splash of color but not a loud sneaker like a Action Bronson sneaker or a Lorenzo inspired sneaker, this could be something that you would really enjoy. Why I say that is because I believe that this is a shoe that can be rocked in the office, in the gym, going out, going to a festival. It is a very versatile shoe because it is not a super chunky shoe. Sometimes when it comes to Air Max releases and the way sneakers are going right now, a lot of sneakers are a lot wider and bulkier. Where that doesn't always work out is not everyone is dressing up like with the streetwear aesthetic when it comes to work. Some people wear straight legged jeans, straight legged chinos, and things like that. So you can't have an over bulky shoe because you look like a toddler. So this is why I think this shoe is perfect because it has the right shape, it has the air units, it's beautiful. I think this is a solid pair of TNs in my opinion. Would I call them the hyper blues? No. I would call them something more along the line of the blue tints or a blue foam, which is quite a decent name for these shoes in my opinion. So aesthetics, I would have to rate these an 8 out of 10 overall. Next, what we are going to be talking about are the materials. So materials are quite an important thing, especially when it comes to buying Air Maxes or any shoes these days, because tariffs and pricing has made sneakers quite expensive. So let's talk about it. Now, the mesh quality is pretty decent. It doesn't feel premium, but it doesn't feel cheap either. The midsole has that familiar TN firmness, which should hold up well over time. I don't see these disintegrating unless you obviously daily drive them every day and you work in a mine. Aside from that, I think that the mesh and the upper as well as the cage, that's all pretty decent material. I'm happy with that. Where the shoe falls a bit short, in my opinion, is when we start to talk about things such as quality control. Now, why do I say that? So on my pair here, if we have a look at the toe box area, you can see the glue marks in that toe cap or toe guard area. I know it might not be a deal breaker for some, but for me, because shoes are expensive these days, I am a bit disappointed in that aspect. The other area where the shoe falls a bit short is this midsole area. Where there is white, other colors do bleed into the white, and the white isn't painted perfectly. So if we have a look at this front side, not sure if you can see, but the air unit has some of the white paint bleeding into it. So that is my issue in terms of quality control with this pair. It's the toe box and it's that midsole area that has the white paint. A lot of other colors have bled into it, and the white paint has also bled into the air units as well. So it's not a big deal breaker for me, because obviously these are things you can't see online when you are still trying to purchase the shoe. You only see this afterwards, so it's not the end of the world for me. But I picked this pair up for sale, like when the shoe went on sale on Nike's website. So I feel a bit sorry for everyone who bought the shoe for retail, because let's be honest, TNs are one of the most, or if not the most expensive Air Max that you can get today. So for people who paid retail, I know they might not be 100% happy when it comes to the quality control on this sneaker. Now, durability wise, I don't think these are going to disintegrate, as I said. And I do think that this black material here, it's like a felt slash nubuck material. I think that's very nice. So materials wise, I am going to give it a 7 out of 10, but it's not a deal breaker in the sense that it's something that would have pushed me away from buying the shoe. Okay, and I'm happy. I am happy. So let's talk a little bit about the sizing and comfort. So in general, I am a UK size 6. So I wear Euro 39 and 40s. So I picked these pairs up from grade school. So I picked up a size 40. And what I can say that I am surprised is there is a lot more room lengthwise in the toe box area for me. Is this a deal breaker? No. Why? Because I can chuck an insole here and I can still use the shoe pretty comfortably. What I am going to be doing though is, for my next purchase of TNs, instead of buying a UK 6 / Euro 40, I am going to try a Euro 39 just to see if this cuts away a bit of that toe room area for me, so they can have a better fit, even though I am a person that likes shoes that are a bit more on the roomy side of things compared to fitting like a glove. And that's just me, that's how it's always been. So I have feet that lean towards the wider side, so I usually have problems around this area of the shoe, the pinky and the big toe. This is not a problem for me right now because it is a size 40 UK 6. But if I drop down to a 39, I will update you and let you know if I start to get pinched in the corners here. Then I would know more or less how to work out my sizing. But since this is my first pair of TNs, I am happy. I'm happy that I have a bit more room in the shoe compared to struggling and having my feet suffocate in a pair of shoes, because I'm a firm believer that you need space in your shoes, because sneakers are not meant to be worn like a boat shoe where it's extremely tight and you can wear it barefoot. No, you need room in your shoes, especially if your feet swell up as you get older, or if your feet swell when it's hot versus when it's cold, and so on. So that's why I like having more room in my shoes. Now let's talk about the pricing and if the shoe is actually worth the money. So I am lucky being a size 6. Everyone who wears a size 6 is lucky, because that is the last shoe size in grade school, and usually the starter sizes in men's or ladies sections. So I managed to get this from grade school. It was, well, I managed to get a grade school pair. They were retailing for 2,900 Rand. I managed to get them for 2,100 Rand. So I saved about a decent amount of bucks on the shoe, and I'm happy. For the price I grabbed the shoe at, I think it's well worth it. If you grab the shoe for retail with all of the QC issues that we have, I know you might not be 100% happy. Look, at the moment on StockX, a size 6 2025 release is going for $108, which is pretty cheap. That's on StockX. But what you also need to be mindful for if you're ordering from South Africa, StockX has a processing fee of $77. So for me, this does not make sense as to why I would be buying from StockX, because that's over 1,000 rand for processing fee. And when you are about to check out, it does tell you that the final fee will be calculated upon checkout. So that's not even the final fee. That's just the processing fee of about $70 plus or minus. So ordering from StockX, not worth it for me. So if you manage to cop this pair when it released in South Africa, as well as outlets, maybe the Nike factory stores, I think it's worth it. Would I buy it from a reseller? I don't think so, especially in South Africa. It's not worth it. If you managed to cop this pair brand new when it came out, I think you did a great job. If you're trying to pick this up for resale, I'd still say go for it, because even with that processing fee, it is still cheaper than what came out for with retail. So I think it's a good pair, and I think it's well worth the money. With the QC issues, the opinions on the gradient considered, banger pair. Like, the one place I want to wear this pair for sure is if I get the opportunity to go to Cape Town and visit the beach, or if I visit my hometown, KZN. This would be the perfect pair to rock at the beach, because I love colorways that remind me of the beach, and this is one of those colorways that would do exactly that. So Nike, Sean Dell, well done, beautiful pair. I'm happy, and I'm happy to get more pairs of TN. So there have been other pairs that have come out in 2025 that I've really had my eye on, but I didn't get a chance to necessarily pull the trigger. So hopefully 2026, more doors open and I get the opportunity to cop those pairs that I really wanted. For example, there's that Varsity Maize color that I really want because Bafana Bafana qualified for the World Cup, and that would be an awesome pair to be rocking with the jerseys. The other pairs that I really wanted were the Eclairs and the Heat Maps. Those are stunning pairs that I really want. I had the opportunity of getting the Heat Maps when they went on sale for Black Friday, but because I had priorities all over the place, I couldn't necessarily pull the trigger on that pair. But hopefully doors open in 2026 and I managed to land those, because the Eclairs and Heat Maps, they have to come home, man. They're non-boring sneakers, they're non-boring colorways, and I think just perfect shoes. So once again, if you did manage to pick up a pair of the 2025 release of the TN Hyper Blue, please drop a comment and let me know what your experience with your pair is like. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you somewhere in between? And also, please drop a like and a subscribe if you are not a monitor in spirit. And yeah, I'll check you in the next episode. Fair day.